Yo, family, this is gonna be a sort of more like this is gonna be not trading related. Well, this is trading related because obviously it is gonna be mental health, and mental health is a um sort of like, let's say it's like a very harsh component of trading. We're just gonna go over it today, right? And yeah, I'll get started, right? So basically, right, I'm gonna talk about just the main points of how to think like a person who changes their life, right? So like you want to change your life, right? You want to get from point A, right, from like being this certain individual that you don't like being this person right now, or you may like who you are now, but you just want to improve, get and level up into this next person, right? And I'm just going to start this video off with like, I would say the majority, I may be assuming here, but this is what I'm just gonna go off from based on from what I've observed with like people that are around me, right? And I'm gonna start off with this saying, right? For most of your life, you've had to ask the teacher, or you've been told from your teacher to do things, right? So like you would ask your teacher to go to the toilet or to do this work or this assignment, whatever, right? And now look at you, you've grown as a person, and now you're trying to make money, trying to beat the system, and trying to figure out your own life, but no one actually ever taught you how to like live as a person. No one actually taught you how to think, how to deal with anxiety, or how to be confident or disciplined, right? Now, I want to point it out, being confident and disciplined is extremely important as an individual, especially if you're alone. And I'm going to tell you this, right? You probably don't even feel proud of yourself right now. You've probably got some messed up cycles of negative thoughts. Maybe you're addicted to vaping, scrolling, you're self doubting, you want to change, but you just can't seem to take action. But hopefully, in this video, right, when you're just going to watch this, we're just going to talk about it and how to actually think as a person and to actually just think in general, right? And how to, rebuild your self image, break your cycles, and take full responsibility of your life. So, we're going to go over the main part, right? Actually, I'll just write it here. So, we're basically going to go over number one, which is how to achieve, I can't spell right now, goals. That's what we're going to go over today. Number one, how to achieve goals. This is beautiful, right? So, we're going to go over this. How to achieve goals. Most people actually fail to reach their goals, or they try and they do a few things and they just seem to fail because they think goals are about what they do. But the truth is, the goal is about who you become. What I mean by that, sorry if you're my brother, by the way, in the background, he's just with his friends, right? Okay, let me just go over that again, right? Most people fail to reach their goals because they think goals are about what they do. But genuinely, right, the truth is goals are about who you truly become. Stop asking what do I need to do, right, to reach this and that goal, do this, do that, right? But start asking yourself, who is the type of person that already lives that goal and what would they do today? So like let's just say as an example, right? Me, Big Jazzy B, alright? Okay, the self glaze is crazy, but you gotta understand, right? Let's say you take a trade, right? You want to become profitable. You gotta understand, right? Some of like, let's say like a student of mine's, right? A client, right? And he wants to become like me, or he wants to be successful like me. He's thinking about the steps of doing that, right? But what you should be really thinking is, what would a person that I look up to do? How would they handle the situation? What would they think? Like, you gotta understand it from that perspective, right? Start asking yourself who's the type of person that already lives that goal and what would they do today, right, to get you closer to that goal, or to make you achieve that goal, because you don't just achieve goals through motivation, you achieve them through identity, and that's where self-image comes from, right? I'll go into that in a second. Every decision that you make as a person, waking up on time, cleaning, eating clean, cleaning as well, reading, and like instead of scrolling on TikTok or whatever, is a vote for the kind of person you're trying to become. Now, this is what leads into self image, right? Number two, we'll just write it up. Number two, self image. Beautiful. Look at me, man. Going crazy. Right. Self-image. Everything in your life comes back to your self-image. So what I mean by that is if you see yourself as weak, lazy, or broken, your actions will prove you right. But if you decide right, you're someone who shows up, you're someone who finishes what they start, your actions will begin to align with that new identity of yourself because you can't outperform the way that you see yourself. So you should stop waiting for confidence to show up. Build it by proving to yourself, one small win at a time, that you are that person. Because you gotta understand, right? Let's look at this self image. My self image, when I actually started out trading, my self image was I'm gonna become a profitable person. Like I acted like one. Like I acted like as if I was profitable. Like I acted as if I wasn't stable, right? Because stable was a little bit out of reach for me and unrealistic in the sense of I'm not at that point yet. I'll get to that certain time frame yet. Don't be overly unrealistic with your goals, right? Try and set them to a time frame apart, right? Because goals are not impossible. Well, some goals are impossible, like, you can't actually fly like naturally without having to, do some random bullshit like, create wings and do this and that, right? Make it reasonable, like, you know, or try and, not make it, too overwhelming for yourself. Try and make it, possible, right? Or make smaller goals that make it possible, that will give you that motivation and confidence to build up towards that big goal, because all the small wins matter, right? So when I was starting out to become like profitable, not even stable, I was like, let me try and, become profitable within like a year, 2 years, 3 years, right? And then after that, when I became profitable, I was like, okay, let me try and get stable within like a year, 2 years. I made those small goals and they all builded up within confidence, right? I built up that confidence from point A to point B. Then, like, I restarted, resetted that, and, I kept on building it up and up. Like, it's just one of those things, right? Because if you prove to yourself that you can do this goal, you'll reach like that certain, like, confidence, and you'll be like, yeah, I can show up and do this and that. Like, it gets easier, right? That's how you build up the discipline as well. And we're going to move on to step three, right? It's main one, I guess, but we're going to talk about it vaguely, right? And it's rewriting your history to heal trauma. So, rewriting your history to heal trauma. I actually can't spell to save my life right now. Right, done. So, what I mean by that is some of you are carrying pain from years ago, like bullying, rejection, family issues, and failure. You tell yourself stories like, I've always been this way, or that's just who I am, but it's just clearly not true. That's just the trauma story that wrote for you. You can easily rewrite it. Not easily. Never mind, I take that back. You can't easily rewrite it. You can rewrite it. You can look back and say, because of what happened, I became stronger. Because I was hurt, I learned empathy. Because I struggled, I built discipline. You should have that positive mindset, or you should have that sort of mindset where you grow from your experiences, like the trauma, right? And how you can rewrite that. Because you just can't change your past, but you can change what it means to you. And that's how you take your power back simply as a person. Because I get it, right? You've probably went through shit. You've went through like the worst times of your life. You've went through your FTE moment, which means fuck this event, right? And this is like your turning point, like where you're trying to just change your life and get out of this, right? And I get it, it happens, right? It's just life. It's unfair, but I'd rather, take action and try and grow something out of it, because you've probably learned a lot of lessons from it. You've probably, like, dealt through so much pain that nothing can, be ever described or compared to what you've went through. And that's the beauty of it, right? Nothing will, you know, be that bad of a pain compared to what you're going to try and do, right? By pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Now, this is where the next point comes from, right? We're going to be talking about number 4, which is take full responsibility. And basically what I mean by that is response. Can I spell? I can't spell right now, 1 second. Responsibility. There we go. Right. Boom. Done. And what I mean by that is, right, everything that's in your life right now, your habits, your mindset, and your results is your responsibility and your responsibility only, regardless with what happens. That's not a punishment. That's power that God gave you. God gave you the power for responsibility, right? Because the second you stop blaming yourself, you like, your ex, right? Your parents, society, or just like luck in general. This is the moment that you realize that you can change everything that happens in your life, like the decisions that you make, that is purely your responsibility and your responsibility only. Unless it's like, some certain circumstances that happens, right? Because like, your parents and stuff can come in if you're like under 18, you know what I mean? Like that can happen, right? I understand that. But you have individually created your current life, which means you can create a new one, right? Or you can rewrite that, as I was talking about, rewriting your history to heal your trauma, right? These sort of link up in a sense, right? And that's the beauty of it, right? What I want you to do is just every day before, let's just say every day before you do something, right? What I want you to do is think, right? Is this good for me? Is this going to help me, like, get a step closer to my goal? Is this going to help me be better as a person? Who does this benefit? Is it just me? Is it someone else? And what I want you to do is at the end of the day, just journal or reflect, right? Saying stuff that you're grateful for. So do gratitude journaling. What I want you to do is do some journaling on your trades, obviously, as I've told you. You should already be doing that. Every trade you take, you do journaling. What I want you to do is give yourself some stuff that like targets you want to set out for yourself during the week. So like give yourself a wee cheeky plan, right? And be like, yeah, I want to do this on this day, but I want to do this on this day. Like let's just say for the full week, right? On Monday, tomorrow, right? For me, I'm gonna be writing or scripting myself a video, right? Because I don't script videos, by the way. I just want to let you know I barely script, right? I'm a lazy guy in the sense, kind of, right? And obviously, as you know, I'm pushing myself out of that comfort zone and I'm trying to be consistent with it. So I'm trying to write scripts and post, right? And I do hold my hands up and I do admit that I was being lazy and I was being dismissive and I was having copium in the sense of like I wasn't posting because I was busy like doing meetings, trading, work. It was all copium, and that's why I've came on now and just posted a video like well, I actually uploaded a video like 2 3 hours ago. Now I'm just recording this just free, like talk. I'm just not like scripting or anything like that. I'm just gonna script from tomorrow and then I'm gonna try and upload the video tomorrow if I have time. Hopefully I do. um yeah, that's just basically it, like in the sense of try and take full responsibility of what you do, because there is this quote, right, where people say they do stuff, right, and they say they do this and they're gonna do that, but genuinely action speaks louder than words. And if they don't live up to what you actually live, like what your standards is up to, then take full responsibility and wake the fuck up. Because now this is what we're gonna get into. Number 5, no excuses. I just like hate my keyboard because of like how sensitive it is. Anyway, no excuses, no cope, and get to work. Basically, most people, they're full of coping. They make excuses, and they don't actually take action. What I want you to do is now write down this 5 times on your journal. No excuses, no cope, get to work. I want you to write that 5 times. That's all, bro. 5 times. Okay? And what I mean by that is, right, you don't need motivation. You just need more action. Everyone says that they want to change, but most people actually stay stuck in excuses like I'm too tired, it's not the right time, I'll start next week. But like that's the old version of you talking, and the new version doesn't wait for the perfect moment. They create it, right? So like the new you want to be creating that instead of making excuses and like laying it off or like doing this and that, right? Now I gotta admit, I'm saying that I'm going to script a video tomorrow, But what I'm actually going to do is, after this video, I'm going to write the script for tomorrow, so then I can record it tomorrow. Or what I might do is, I'm going to script it after this video, record it today, and post it tomorrow. And that's what I'm going to do, actually. Never mind. Because I just caught myself out. I made an excuse saying, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I was coping clearly, right? Because, like, you know, I said that I was busy and stuff. But no, I'm going to get to work right after this video again. Anyway, back to the video. Basically, what I was meaning is, right, the old version of you is talking, right? Your own brain is against you. Your brain makes up excuses and copes the fact that, you know, you're going to do this, but then something bad's going to happen. Like, let's say, right, you're going to, like, let's say, right, it's raining outside and you're trying to go to the mosque for Jummah or something for Friday. And, like, you know, let's just say, like, you're 16-year-old, like, you're trying to walk it, right? Basically, it's raining. Most people's, and you're trying to walk it, right? And it's like a 5 minute walk. Most people would be like, oh, it's raining, I'm not gonna go. Absolutely bullshit. That's clearly full of excuses. Well, I'm saying excuses and cope, because you can clearly walk there. Being a little wet doesn't really matter, bro. Pause. But being a little wet in the sense of, like, you know, rain and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Isn't, bro, it's not that deep, bro. Get it done. Go to work. Like, go to the mosque, you know what I mean? Like, it's an example, right? I know it sucks, but I just hope you try and understand with what I mean. And basically what I mean is, right, that there's no shortcuts, there's no secret hacks to, like, you know, trading or, like, doing, you know, specific things like this get rich quick scheme or whatever. There's no shortcuts, there's no secret hacks, nothing. It's just consistent effort every single day of your life, as long as you commit to this. There's a new point I'm gonna make, and it is, hold yourself, right, to the standard you set for others. So what I mean is, right, hold yourself to the standard you set for yourself. No, hold the standard you set. You set. I can't spell set for others. Hold the standard you set. Hold the standard. You set for. Okay. Right, I'm slow, guys. By the way, yeah, I literally was like fasting, and like I was like eating in it, so like it's just getting to me. Right. Anyways, hold yourself to the standard you set for others. I finally got out of my system, mate. My bad, guys. My bad. Anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, like I was saying, you get angry, right? And like when people lie to you, like they're lazy, or when they flake, right? In the sense of that, right? But are you really holding yourself to the same standard? So let me repeat what I was saying, right? So you can fully, you know, grasp of what I just said. You get angry when people lie to you. When they're lazy, they flake. But are you holding yourself to the same standard? Are you holding yourself to the same standard? If you expect honesty, discipline, and loyalty from others, demand it from yourself first. I want that to let it sink in for yourself, right? I'm gonna give you a minute. Right. Amazing. Beautiful. Minute done. Stop letting yourself off the hook. Your respect for yourself comes from what you said you'd do, even when no one was watching. I'm gonna repeat that, okay? Stop letting yourself off the hook. Your respect for yourself comes from doing what you said you'd do, even when no one's watching. Like I said, action speaks louder than words. Another point I'm gonna make. It is manual thoughts versus automatic thoughts, right? Beautiful. Right. Right now, right, if we're talking about manual thoughts and automatic thoughts, right, we're just going to talk about like the basics of it, right, just so you can understand. Right now, your brain actually genuinely runs on autopilot mostly, right? Your brain runs on autopilot. And I'm going to be real with you, because those anxious thoughts, those self-doubt thoughts, the procrastination, those are all automatic thoughts, and I'm going to be real with you right now. But there's a way that you can train yourself, right, to think manually. So whenever your mind says I can't do this, you pause, right? So let's say you're going to do 10 push-ups right now. I want you to pause real quick. Pause, just pause, stop everything you're doing, right? Also, you should have this video on full screen. You should not be texting anyone. You should not be on your phone, by the way. I just want to let you know that, right? Nothing. Set to full screen, and you do what I tell you to do. You just switch off your brain, okay? Okay, you're gonna do, let's just say 10 push-ups, right? I want you to just pause. Pause, right? And say, what would be the best version of me, right? Like, what would I think? So, what would be the best version of me, right? And how would that best version of me think right now? Would they just stop thinking and just do it, the 10 push-ups? Or would they overthink and be like, oh, but like, I don't think I can do 10 push-ups, and like, I'm a little bit fat, and like, my fat legs can like, not work out, and I can't lift my body weight. Like, bro, just do it, okay? Even trying, just even trying, right? Like, just even trying goes all its way. I apologize if I like said like fat or whatever, right? But it's just an excuse that just came out of my head, by the way. Like, that's just how I'm brain coded, alright? I'm Jazzle coded like that, you know what I'm saying? But like I was saying, right, it's an excuse, right? Even if you're fat, right? Even if you have some sort of thing, right? By the way, if you have a disability or anything like that, I apologize. Like, you can't do the push-ups, right? That's fine. You're let off, okay? But what I mean is, like, if you're like a regular person that doesn't have any disabilities, fortunately they don't, you don't have any disabilities, that's amazing. Go do 10 push-ups. Don't think about it. Don't overthink. I don't want any pussy mindset from you, alright? I'm waiting. What the hell's my brother doing, mate? Right, okay, there should be enough time. You better not be skipping the video, by the way, in like 10 seconds, okay? I want you to just go with the flow of the video, alright? Anyways, amazing. Congratulations if you've done 10 push-ups. I'm really proud of you. Like, genuinely, I'm actually proud of you. Good job. You got through it. Right. Now, the point of that, right, was that's manual thinking, choosing your thoughts instead of being controlled by them, right? So what you did was you manually thought, right, I'm gonna do 10 push-ups. I don't care. You can do those 10 push-ups, or you're gonna try, and even if you fail, that's still gonna, work out for you, right? Do those fucking 10 push-ups, right? I mean, this is what I hate about my keyboard. Like, honestly, like, even if I like slightly like smack my desk, I'd even smack my desk, bro. Just like, why do I even bother? Like, watch. Oh, it didn't happen this time. Anyways, like I was saying, yeah. So choosing your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. That's what I was talking about. So like at first, right, it will feel forced, right? But if you practice it long enough, your brain starts to generate positive, disciplined, and confident thoughts, right? That's the point, to make the new mindset to your default mindset, right? Because when you have automatic thoughts, right, it's going to be anxious thoughts, negative thoughts, fucked up thoughts, a cycle of them. You can't think straight, stuff like that happens, right? And what you want to do is, right, journal and give yourself the best amount of positivity, that you can give yourself, the amount of confidence that you can give to yourself, the amount of discipline you can give to yourself, like those confident thoughts. I want you to give all of that to yourself manually every single day, right? Doesn't matter how bad everything's going, just say everything's going to be all right. I'm going to do better. If you make a mistake and you fuck it up, and be like, okay, I made the mistake. I've learned from it. I'm going to do better now. I've grown. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's the point, right? To make a new mindset and to make that your default mindset, right? Because then once you make that your default mindset, those positive thoughts won't be manual anymore. They'll be automatic thoughts. That's what we're trying to go for, right? And to just end off with the video, right? We're just going to be talking about, right? You've pretty much been programmed your whole life to follow orders, to ask permission, or to wait for approval, right? But this is the part of your life, or you've reached the part of your life where your mental health really, really matters for your growth and your future, and no one else will be coming to save you, except for certain individuals that really love and care about you. They'll tell you things, right? So, like, let's say, right, um, you have like a husband or like you have a wife or something, right? They both tell each other things, right? That they could probably improve on, or they catch each other out and be like, you've done this and I don't like it, and it's probably like really bad for you. Like they catch you out, you know what I mean, right? Stuff like that. Like there's certain individuals in your life that could possibly like help you, like your friends, right? They catch you out and they tell you things that you may not want to hear, but it's the truth, and just accept it, right? Give yourself manual thoughts and grow from it and be like, yeah, I've grown, I've learned from it, you know what I mean, right? In these videos, I do tend to contradict myself, right? I've just contradicted myself like two different times today, three different times. But I contradict myself a lot, by the way. Like from this one specific person, they always catch me out, right? And I always contradict myself, and it just like pisses me off. But I know like they do it because like obviously they care about me in the sense, but as well as like I don't know, bro. It's just it just like it's nice to have someone to catch you out like that, because you yourself may not be the one catching yourself out all the time, and it's nice to have someone else to do it for you, so then you can learn from it and you can grow, because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to catch myself out when I do stupid shit, or whenever I see something, whatever, right? And that's what I mean, right? This is a part of life, your mental health, and like you're growing, and like your future, right? No one's coming to save you unless it's those specific people, right? They can help you, they can support you, but most of the time, for a certain amount of people, it is on you. You should rebuild your self-image. You should rewrite your own story and take full responsibility. Stop making excuses. Hold yourself to a higher standard that you set yourself to now, and think manually, act deliberately, and over time your automatic thoughts will become unstoppable, in the sense of like it'll just come in with positivity, and it'll come with confidence, and it'll come with discipline, right? Because the system trained you to stay weak, and now it's your turn, right, to train yourself to become strong. And what I genuinely want you to do is, right, with today's video, I want you to implement this with trading. So like do some back testing, do some journaling, do some forward testing, try and learn some new strategies. And as well as like, I want you to go and do this in your life. So what I want you to do is, right, um go and just, let's just say if you see your mother or you see your dad or someone, right, a family member, go and hug them and be like, I'm grateful for you and I'm grateful that you're in my life. I just want you to do that. Set yourself to, positivity. Have some more positivity in your life. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Because you got this. You got this, and I believe in you as an individual. You're going to do well, and you're going to do great in life. Especially with trading and how these next videos are going to come. Next video, I'm probably just going to talk about. I'll check on the video, right? I'll check real quick. Let me check for you, because um, 1 second. What is it that we're going to do? We're going to go over fair value gaps, and I need to go over. What else do I need to go over? Dun, 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 dun. Risk management, how to take losses. I don't know if we're gonna do that. We'll just do fair value gap, I guess. Or we'll do liquidity, a part 2 of that, I guess. We might do order blocks. I'll try and do that after this video. I'll try my best. Anyways, we'll end it off there, okay? Y'all have a good one. Stay safe. Don't be a retard, okay? Follow these advices that I've provided. And yeah. Right, take care, family. Bye bye.